My spouse announced, "My former partner is coming to our Christmas meal. Act like an adult about it." I just agreed with a nod. Little did she realize I'd extended an invite to his fiancée as well. That gathering at the table became an unforgettable spectacle for everyone in my clan. Call me Alex, 30, wed to my partner Elena for 4 years now. This holiday season was meant to mirror the rest, my folks playing host, my sibling and their little ones dashing about, tasty eats, the typical merry mayhem. That is, until a couple of weeks prior, when Elena unleashed a bombshell that flipped the script entirely. It was a Wednesday evening in the galley. I was whipping up spaghetti, she was thumbing her screen idly, and suddenly she blurted, "Oh, by the way, I asked Liam to join us for Christmas over at your parents'." My spoon froze mid-swirl. "Liam? Your old flame? That Liam?" "Yep," she replied offhandedly, eyes still glued to her device. "He's hitting a tough patch and lacks kin nearby. Figured it'd be a kind gesture." A bit of backstory here. Liam's Elena's beau from her university days. They were an item for 3 years, split roughly half a year prior to us crossing paths. She's insisted they're merely pals and that it fizzled out amicably. I've crossed paths with Liam just twice, once during a cookout a year and a half back, and again at a fundraiser this past summer. Each encounter, he came off courteous yet carried this odd vibe near Elena, as if they had private quips excluding me. "You asked your ex to my folks' Christmas bash without looping me in?" I uttered deliberately. She glanced up at last. "Alex, quit being paranoid. Liam and I are buddies. Period." And that was her stance. "Oh, and before you chime in, yeah, I looped in your mom already, and she's cool with it." Ouch. She'd consulted my mother ahead of me. "When'd you chat with mom?" "Last evening. Phoned her to check on adding one more and fill her in." She was all empathy. My teeth clenched. "Elena, that's beside the point. You ought to have cleared it with me. It's odd bringing an ex to a kin holiday." "It's odd only if you render it so," she countered, edge creeping into her voice. "Liam's nursing a split, and I'm stepping up as a solid pal. I require you to handle this grown-up." There it landed. That "handle it grown-up" jab. Treating me like some kid mid-meltdown rather than a spouse blindsided by his partner's solo call on our festivities. "All right," I conceded. "He can tag along." Her grin bloomed. "Cheers. Knew you'd get it." I didn't get it. Not one iota. Still, I bobbed my head and resumed twirling the noodles as my mind revved into gear. Later that evening, once Elena hit the sack, I pulled a move I'm ashamed of but zero remorse for. I rifled through her cell. Yeah, privacy violation, trust shattered, the works. Yet an unease nagged, and I had to verify if instinct rang true. The haul was grimmer than I'd braced for. Elena and Liam had been messaging non-stop, several exchanges daily over the prior 8 weeks. No overt sleaze, but the intimacy screamed volumes. Tons of shared chuckles, heaps of "recall that time" nods, heaps of her venting about yours truly. One dispatch from a fortnight past scorched my veins. I yearn for our old rhythm. Life felt easier. Her reply? Totally. At times I ponder what might have been if we'd pushed more. I snapped pics, forwarded them over, erased traces of my meddling. Come morning, I poked around further. Liam's supposed fresh split? Fiction. He'd popped the question 4 months prior. Stumbled on his betrothed's Insta without much hunt. She went by Sophia, appeared genuine. Slew of shots, her and Liam trekking trails, dining out, beaming content. Even a Thanksgiving snap captioned, "Thankful for this guy and the adventures ahead." Boom, Elena's fib exposed. Liam wasn't weathering storms. And should Sophia remain clueless, her intended was holing up for the holidays with his prior love and her kin, that struck me as intel she merited. I spun up a throwaway Insta profile and slid her a direct note, straightforward, no frills. Hey Sophia, stranger here, but I'm wed to Liam's past girlfriend Elena. She's roped him into our clan Christmas, and given your feed hints at your engagement, you might wanna know. Chat if inclined, here's my digits. Reply zipped in under 60 minutes. We shifted to SMS. She'd been utterly in the dark about Liam's Yuletide detour with Elena. Actually, he'd spun her a yarn about a office pal's festive soiree. Sophia was rattled yet appreciative I'd flagged it. We hashed it out for near half an hour, and by wrap-up, I'd tossed her a dinner invite too. You positive? She queried. Won't it get messy? Likely, I admitted. But I'm done with deceptions, and reckon we both merit the real scoop. She signed on. The ensuing days hummed routinely above board. Elena chattered holiday prep, side dishes to tote, swapping trinkets with Liam. That bit nearly cracked me up. I merely hummed agreement, channeling the poised spouse she'd cast me as. Christmas Eve, Elena buzzed with cheer. She fired off texts to Liam on arrivals and setups. Overheard her line with him that dusk, nailing his 2 p.m. drop at my parents'. She was near bubbling. You'll mourn, we unwrapped gifts in our pad pre-drive to my folks. Elena gifted me a timepiece I'd eyed ages ago. I handed her earrings. We beamed, smooched, feigned seamless bliss. We rolled up to my parents by 1-ish. Mom had spared no effort, roast fowl gala, trio of spuds, haricots, biscuits, tarts aplenty. Dad tuned into the game. My bro Nate corralled his pair of tots. It wrapped cozy and routine, and for a beat, remorse flickered for my impending play. Almost. Liam clocked in at 2:15, toting vino and charisma that won Mom's favor on sight. Elena glowed at his entrance, enveloped him in an embrace stretching 4 ticks past platonic. I gripped his palm steady, flashed a grin, glad you're here, buddy. Means a lot, truly, he returned. We eased into the den. Liam meshed seamless, chortling at Dad's quips, quizzing Nate on the nippers. Elena contrived pretexts to perch beside him, brush his sleeve amid giggles. I observed the pageant with a poise masking my inner storm. At 2:45, chimes pealed. On it, I piped, rising swift. Swung the portal to Sophia poised in a crimson pullover, clutching a wine vessel, nerves etched yet resolute. You gotta be Alex, she ventured. Sophia, I greeted affably. Thrilled you made it. Step inside. Ushered her to the den. The fallout hit like lightning. Elena blanched ashen. Liam bolted upright, toppling his brew in the jolt. Sophia, he croaked, tone fracturing. What's this? Got summoned, she stated even-keeled, eyeing me. Alex graciously looped me in upon learning you'd earmarked Christmas for your ex and her crew. Hush blanketed the space. Mom's brow furrowed. Dad silenced the screen. Nate's gaze ballooned. Alex, Elena intoned measured, rising. What's the play? Meet Sophia, I beamed. Liam's intended. Liam, reckon you skipped briefing Sophia on your Yuletide with Elena. Elena, you omitted Liam's hitched status to me. Thus, family feast for all seemed fitting. You know, handle it grown up. Echoed her phrasing verbatim. Liam seemed primed to melt through the planks. Sophia, allow me to clarify. Elucidate what? She pressed, timbre quivering. Why the office gala fib? Why holing with your ex and her kin sans a whisper? Why Alex breaks the news? Ain't what it seems, Liam launched. Then pray tell, what? She fired. Elena wheeled on me, cheeks aflame. Alex, this is deranged. You fetched his betrothed to shame me? Fetched her, 'cause she earned the whereabouts of her betrothed, I parried serene. Same as I merited knowing you've been pinging your ex non-stop, sighing over lost sparks. Her hue drained from crimson to ashen. You snooped my phone. Guilty, I owned. Unearthed plenty intriguing. Care for a group recital? Mom piped at last. What in blazes is unfolding? Nate filmed via his device. I let it roll. Liam edged toward Sophia. Sweetheart, hear me out. Elena and I? Pure pals. She hit a snag, craved a shoulder. I hit no snag, Elena bit at him. What's your angle? And poof, their tails crumbled. Liam pitched Elena's turmoil aid. Elena pitched Liam's strife. Neither yarn synced with their broadcasts. Dual deceivers, doubly snared. Sophia eyed Liam with revulsion. It's over. Utterly. Skip the pad tonight, no rings. Brol, crate your gear. She pivoted to me. Grateful you clued me. Regret crashing your kin's holiday, but truth's a bomb. Lingering for the meal's yours if keen, Mom murmured. Adored her for it. Sophia demurred. Best I bounce. But thanks. She departed. Liam lingered statue still a tick, snagged his jacket, trailed her mute. Latch clicked. Elena fixed me with rage-laced mortification. Divorce, I preempted her outburst. Solicitors queued. Crash at your bros till we sort pads. Alex, she essayed. Nah, I cut. You hauled your ex to my kin's Christmas. Falsified the why. You've strayed hearts for moons. Gaslit my unease. Thus, finito. She scanned the chamber, parents, Nate, the festooned board now a wreckage. I witnessed her grasp, 0 backers. She snatched her bag, vanished wordless. Follow-up 1. Holiday repast dragged uneasy, yet we muddled through. Mom rude not probing Elena's Liam pitch deeper. Dad deemed my navigation solid. Nate shared the clip hit our wider kin thread, unanimous backing. Bivouacked at parents that eve. Elena bombarded texts, fury to remorse to begs, 17 tallies. Mine? 1 repost, solicitor chat. Morn after, Dad and bro-in-law crewed to our flat for basics haul. Elena absent, but a scrawl on the counter, regrets. Never aimed this mess. Dialogue? Been bound. Follow-up 2. 7 days on, solicitor summit. Phone captures from Elena's. Gold for counsel. Plus ledgers I'd shouldered bulk joint tabs, key for splits. Elena bunked with her bro. She mined shared circles, urging pleas for redo. Bulk pals tilted my way post full tail. Handful dubbed the festive snare overkill, but shrug. Sophia pinged post-Yule. Reiterated thanks, affirmed split. Liam peddled no fleshly slips with Elena, yet heart tangle sufficed. Bullet evaded, mutual. Liam unraveled post-rift per grapevine, cursed Elena for his wreck, she him for her wedlock doom. Spot-on duo. Closing note. 60 days post-fest. Dissolution glide sans snags, Elena skips the fray. Likely shame spurs haste to close. Flats listing, carve 60 to 40 my tilt via my tab heft. Hold at parents scouting fresh digs. Therapeutic stretch. Kin sups, game eves with Nate, serene unpack. Elena's tome missive last week. Full mea culpa. Baffled fog, rotten pics, no bodied betrayal but grasps my wound. Someday pals? Silence. Perhaps tides shift, but now? Vanish act. Sophia and I grabbed brew last week. No sparks, mere survivor swap. She's thriving, counsel dives, self-spotlight. Echoed outreach debt, quiet would have chained her to an ex-prioritizer. Me? Steady-ish. Rough patches pepper. Ache the union, not the mismatched one. Kin ribs I claimed you'll crown, fair call. That board tableau? Lore for lifetimes. Mom vows next fest, my guest veto. Tweak 1. Queries on festive snare remorse? Bluntly? Nah. There's the deceit dance.